Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the XRS ZTR DeCat race, as well as the third rider reveal for the CVR World Cup today. Riders have gotten underway. They're heading on over my way over at the Sprint Studio out on the Prudential Ride London course. They're going to be doing 5 laps out on the Classic course today. All the categories are starting together, hence the DeCat race signification. We're going to go over the race rules and information for you real quickly as the riders are heading on over our way. As far as the race information goes, welcome to the experimental race series XRS Zwift Training DeCat race, the ZTR. This is an all-out race from the starting gate to the finish. Be prepared to go all out from the start. So it is about 32.2K, so it's going to be a short and quick, fast race. Results will be found on ZwiftPower.com and race rankings at ZwiftRankings.com. Full race rules can be found in the XRS Facebook group. Rules are no power-ups, time penalty enforced if you're able to use them. I believe there are no power-ups, though, in the event, so they're unable to use them either way. No TT bikes, DQs will be enforced. Rider name tagging. Jay Smith is an example with ZTR after it. You will not be placed without this. No categories for the DeCat race, as you see, DeCat. Z-Power riders will not be placed in Cat A results on Zwift Power. Z-Power riders are not eligible for podium places in the B to D categories either, and your Strava must include the ZTR tag, just so everybody knows. So those are the rules. Let's see your start and finish. Please note the race is from the gun, including any event warm-up on the lap counter. The race always finishes at the start-finish gate or the volcano lap marker. Please ignore any early results. And so looks like the riders are just about to head on over toward the Classic course. They're just coming past the river here in just a moment. So we'll go ahead and head right into the race and see what is happening with them out on the course today. It does look like there is a pretty solid lead group that has established itself about 13 seconds up from any of the chasers. We do have P. Barholm from Vision Cycling up at the front of the race currently. It does look like Mr. Tim Cartwright, though, after that second place finish yesterday, jumping right back in. And speaking of yesterday's race in the ZTR, we also have Brett Boniface, it looks like, showing up today. I did see him just a moment ago in the riders list from Team ODZ. The attacks are fast and furious as they're heading into the Classic course, as is to be expected. Roberts is up at the front. It looks like we've got a full-on Vision Cycling trio, all in the Tron bike kit, kitted out with, man, these guys, I absolutely love it. Big Blue Vision Train is one of the names in here. There's 4 of them actually trying to break things apart at the front here. Boniface is going from ODZ and Cartwright able to follow. Boniface winning the race yesterday in the ZTR. He follows the wheels and then goes ahead and counters immediately right from the get-go, actually. So what a great attack there from Boniface to try and break things up right away. He does get 1 second over Webb. It does look like Cartwright following the wheels of the Vision Cycling boys. It looks like we also have Cliven here from the BRT jumping right on with them, and then we also do have MD from BRT. Very contested race actually already from a lot of teams showing up. WBR's in the action. I did see there the Spocker riding in that red, white, and blue kit, actually. We also do have, it looks like, Remy in here as well from Vision Cycling. And Quentin LaFay is hung on in there as well. There is a huge, actually, contingent of Vision boys showing up today. Fidalgo now here coming out of Spain, hammering away about 14 seconds back. He's got C. Weidman from Team Experimental trying to chase him down, as well as Jay Farron now about 18 seconds back from Weidman. So that is going to be the lead group, though, amongst the A's and the B's, it looks like, as Remy is actually leading out the B category right now, as he is just trying to hang on with these initial attacks that are coming from the riders. We do have full integration going on right now between Facebook as well as Twitch for the chats. So if you would like to interact, you can go ahead and do anything at Z Community Live, as well as any of the chat coming through on the Facebook. We will be able to see. So I'm going to just go ahead and see real quickly if I can bring up, just make sure that we've got everything playing through. Yeah, it looks like we are coming through loud and clear over on Facebook. So good to see all you guys over there. I'm just going to open up the ZIF Community Live Twitch here real quickly, and you guys will be able to interact there as well. If you have any questions, we won't be able to release who the rider reveal is, obviously, for a little bit. The high quality stream is over at Twitch. Just so you know, the broadcast over at Facebook is a little bit lower quality, so if you want the high quality stream, head on over to Twitch, as in conjunction with the CVR and the XRS races, CVR World Cup will be exclusively broadcast on Twitch. And so as we do the lead up races with the XRS series, we want to make sure that we're communicating well to you guys as to where you need to go for that esports event that will be taking place live in Las Vegas on April 8th. And so the reason we are downscaling a little bit over on Facebook is, first of all, it comes through without as much pixelation, so Facebook not being a full-on streaming platform a lot of times has difficulties with high quality, and so we have to send through a lower quality just so that it stays stable. But then also on top of that, it gives you guys a little bit of incentive to head on over to the streaming platform that we will be using specifically for that CVR World Cup. So AWeb now, 10 watts per kilogram. Here comes the attack from Vision. I think this is just going to happen the entire race. We've got 7 kilometers into a 32-kilometer race. It's just going to be 5 laps. And Webb here going off the front to Silva, trying to follow out of Great Britain there. It looks like just holding up actually at the front here. Nobody from Vision's going to follow. And I think just having the numbers in there is going to be a mind game for the rest of the riders here. Barholm, Cartwright, Spocker. I have a feeling we may see Cartwright head to the front and just kind of set a high tempo pace, as Webb is off the front at 3.6, 4.2 watts per kilogram. Not sure he's going to be able to hold on to this gap, seeing as Cartwright is heading to the front there, 5.2 watts per kilogram or so. MD here, it looks like 4.8, 3.9, hanging on from BRT. So the teams represented now: BRT, Vision, WBR, ODZ is in there with Boniface, who won the race yesterday against Cartwright in a sprint against the KRT rider here. KRT is also represented, so ODZ, KRT going head-to-head yesterday. But now they got a big blue Vision train to deal with, it looks like, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe, riders from Vision all in this lead group. Webb was caught, it looks like, by that Cartwright steady effort at the front, and is now hanging on the back, recovering a little bit, it looks like, from those initial efforts. The results so far then are showing that there is a killer pace, 5.5 watts per kilogram so far for the duration race, coming from Brett Boniface. He's actually set the highest pace amongst the racers so far. So definitely seriously fast race. The one that's done the least work amongst the riders at this point, it looks like, would be Remy, sitting at about 4.3 watts per kilogram. A B racer, we'll see if he holds over the 4.0 watts per kilogram, gets an upgrade throughout the race with the kind of pace that is being set here. Remy does max out, it looks like, at 205 beats per minute. He is 2 seconds, it looks like, back from the front with Boniface at this point. He's at 182. He's got about 20 beats to work with or so, maybe. But Boniface now with a counter against Vision here, knowing that there's so many in the group, and he just wants to keep on putting the pressure on, most likely, to try and make them do a little bit of work and not be able to sit in. So Boniface here, 5.3, it looks like, watts per kilogram. Big Blue Vision train. I wonder who Big Blue Vision is in real life. I'm going to go ahead and open this up and see. It looks like it is Tim Fulford, actually. Tim Fulford, coming out of the United Kingdom with the name change there. So according to zippower.com, that is who that is. Frank Diedelson, listen to the new Zwiftcast this morning. Simon did not pay me to plug the podcast. Gotcha. Good to hear it, Frank. And I didn't, so the new Zwiftcast has been released. We did have Simon in on the broadcast yesterday. That was really great to have him, and had a lot of fun with him and Shane doing the new Zwiftcast. If you'd like to check out the new podcast that was just released on Zwift, from Simon, with me and Shane on board as a little co-commentary with him on that podcast. You can find it at zwiftcast.com, and download it over there for free. So we have a little chat about all kinds of stuff. FTP tests, the taking on of the mountain by Monica Schlang, as well as a little bit of chat about the CVR World Cup in esports when it comes to Zwift and cycling. Boniface again attacking as they come up and over the top of that initial climb into Trafalgar Square here. We do see it is backing off, though, to 3.2 watts per kilogram. Barholm following very quickly there and pulling the group back up. De Silva's here out of Great Britain as well, following that, riding for that MDCC. It doesn't have an official tag in game, but definitely always wearing that kit, it looks like. Cartwright now 5.2 watts per kilogram, a little ways on the back. Looks like he's just grabbing wheels, though, at this point. Cliven from the BRT looking pretty strong. Quentin Lefay now up in that 8 watts per kilogram, 178 beats per minute. I was chatting a little bit with Quentin prior to the race today and said that yesterday's race really put him into the hurt locker, so we'll see if he can follow the wheels today. Remy is off the back now at this point, it looks like, was able to grab a little bit of leeway between him and the other B riders because of going with this initial attack, but it looks like he has lost 33 seconds to the leaders. 126 back, it will be the chase, it looks like, in the A and B's. Well, that would be the third chase, actually. We'll have to wait for them to update in just a moment here, as we're getting a few riders that are on the other side of the sponsor barriers there, as you can see on the left-hand side of the course. So A-Web here at the back, Cliven, Boniface, Roberts, all making this lead group. It looks like it is the lead group now at this point of, I believe, right around 10 riders or so. The Spocker and Remy then off the back by about 30 seconds, and they're going to have to work hard to hold off the chasers, so I believe are about 1 minute back from them. 10 kilometers into this 32-kilometer race so far. Casey Strum says, we allow to talk about the podcast here. So new map extension today, right? Podcast was great. Thanks a lot, Casey. Appreciate it. We had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it very much. So yesterday, in other news, if you missed the rider reveals yesterday, we had a great time revealing who was jumping into the CVR yesterday. We did have Daniel Schmidt-Heine actually jump in with us. He was one of the rider reviewers, as well as Shane Miller. And if you've listened to the podcast, you know already that Shane Miller is coming to Vegas as well. So Daniel Schmidt-Heine and Shane Miller released yesterday as the rider reveals for the arena in Vegas, and we will have another reveal today. So we do see Webb now going off the front again, 6.2 watts per kilogram. He's got a little bit of a leeway. Actually, him and Roberts together, this is going to be a duo that they're going to have to watch very closely. 6 watts per kilogram, continually on the front here. 12K in, they're not quite halfway done with the race at this point. They still got about, I would say, 30 minutes of racing, maybe a little less than 30 minutes of racing right now. And, well, excuse me, no, probably 20 minutes of racing left. And all out 20-minute effort from this point forward. These boys will probably hold a little under 5 watts per kilogram for the duration of the rest of the race if they go off the front. And there's going to have to be a real effort from the solo teammates. These other teams are going to have to get organized amongst each other, because these other Vision boys are just going to sit on, I would think, and watch the moves and cover them. With 8 seconds off the front, it's going to be really difficult, I think, unless MD, Cartwright, and Boniface, and you see that's exactly what they're starting to do now at this point. They're heading to the front of the race and getting organized. Cartwright, Boniface, MD, they're going to start taking polls, I would think, to try and bring those boys back in. They're going to have to, and with the pack dynamic, it's going to be definitely a high pace that they can set. If they just set it at right around that 5 to 5.5 on the front, even in the 6 at the front, and rotate through, they will be able to bring Roberts and Webb back in if they only hold around a 4.8 to 5.3 like we see right now, because the pack dynamic does speed up a lot more out on Zwift than the rest. And you can see it does drop down a second or so as Cartwright heads to the front, but will they be willing? That's the question. Will they be willing to work together the way that they need to in order to pull those boys back in? That'll be the question. And so Casey is saying that scanned Vegas plane tickets this morning must resist, shaping up to be epic. Frank Deal says, Casey Shum, wish I could make it. We'll definitely be watching on ZCL's Twitch TV. Thanks a lot, Frank. I appreciate that very much, and we're glad to have you guys here for sure. It does look like we've got a whole lot of chatters over, or at least 25 people watching over at the Twitch channel. I am watching that chat, so if you have any comments or questions, make sure to jump on in and let us know what you are thinking. If you haven't hit the follow button over there yet, make sure to do so. We'd love to have you guys get your notifications anytime we go live over there. There are settings. If you don't like the notifications, you can go into your Twitch settings and turn off notifications for any of the channels that you do follow on Twitch as well. You can also tweet at us for social media integration. We do have an example of this from Zwift Community Live yesterday. They went ahead and tweeted yesterday at us the announcement from Shane Miller. As you can see here, just announced on our Twitch channel, Shane Miller's involvement in the CVR. And then there was also another one coming in, I believe, from at Z Community Live, throwing at us the rider reveals. So next one to fill in will be coming in toward the end of the broadcast today. We're super excited about it, and it looks like we will be able to have a live interview actually with the individual that will be joining us for the CVR in just a week and a half, I think it is now or so. So it's coming up quick here. Getting all the traveling figured out. Going to be like a Zwift conference, another Zwift conference. The first Roanoke event was like meeting all these people that we knew so well but had never met in real life. It's kind of an amazing, it's really an amazing thing actually when you meet all these people. Julian Washington, she's such an amazing person. So great to meet her. Meeting Scotty Weiss and Katrina. Hanging out with Rick Woods, and I mean all these people that we Frank, hanging out with Frank as well, who was at the event and raced in the event. Frank Deal, who's hanging out in the chat right now. Really, really great to meet him. Richard Morehouse, man, yeah, we saw you in the race yesterday. Good to see you here. He says, dead from yesterday's XRS, so just watching today. Good to have you here with us, Richard Morehouse, and solid effort yesterday in the XRS. And we also have, it looks like, a little bit coming in here from CVR World Cup is get it right, do you even try, bro? GP Lama is an Australian alien. Nice little comment there. Is an Australian, not an actual alien. Michael Powell says, hi Nathan, great commentary as always. Good to see you racing yesterday and riding yesterday in the MS event, in the group ride / race. That was really great to see you battling it out with a few people, trying to better other people's lives through that charity event with the MS70 out on Zwift. They did a half ride of the Prudential Ride London. They did a half course of that course, and it was really, really great to see everybody showing up. I think they raised at least $3,000, maybe pushing $4,000 for the MS Society to fight multiple sclerosis. So really, really great event. We're excited to be promoting that and looking to build on that event to have an even bigger event next year. I think we had like 100 riders show up to that pilot event, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more show up to the next one, as that was just getting started, I think, for the kind of event we can throw down in conjunction with the MS Society. So we're super, super excited for that. So great job yesterday, Michael. Really cool to see you. And I believe it was Corey Stalker, Dan Seath, hammering away. Tanya, that was live on site at the event itself. looked to actually pull off the win there amongst the live riders, and it was a great effort. Looks like Boniface here taking advantage a little bit now as we get back into the race action out of Canada from that ODZ team, taking a little advantage of a group ride that they were heading through there. And it looks like Cartwright now, MD, Locks, able to follow. Webb with a little bit of a kick to try and stay on terms, making sure he doesn't lose any wheels as they head through. Roberts is still there. Tim Fulford then with the big blue train signification there as well. Cliven now falling off a little bit. It is a WBR ride, it looks like they're heading through. And 17.3 kilometers in, it looks like. So they're going to have, I believe it will be 2 laps to go. Is that 2 laps to go? I'm going to take a quick little look here at the live. The live is not updating the actual place out on course that I can see in the course map, but that's okay. We'll just deal with that for now. So looking through here, we do see the last time that they were updated was through a Buckingham Palace. So they are 21:58, 59 in, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 maybe riders in the front group. Boniface is there. Yeah, 11 riders. Spocker off the back with Remy. And it does look like Kay Williams. Not a part of the lead group, actually. Just a little ways off the back. Lap rider out on course. So amongst the D, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the current standings to get an idea of what's happening within the A, B, C, and D category races right now. So current standings, as you can see, we do have Cartwright, Boniface. They did come through, looks like Buckingham Palace Prudential Arch Sprint finish. That was the last time they checked in, just at that 16.9K. The most work in the field has been done by Brett Boniface at 5.2 watts per kilogram. We got Cartwright 5.0, MD from the BRT. Actually, even though Vision has numbers, they've done the least work amongst the crew here, it looks like. Roberts with 4.9. But all of them, it looks like, sitting a little bit. De Silva 4.5 amongst the riders, sitting in the most. Maybe Quentin LeFay, actually, after that effort yesterday. It sounds like he was hurting a little bit. Is definitely sitting in right around 4.3 watts per kilogram at this moment right now. It looks like he might have actually lost the front group now. Quentin Cartwright here, MD. It looks like Roberts as well. Looking for Webb, Boniface, Barholm, Locks is still in there. But I have a feeling that maybe Quentin is falling off. I gotta make sure that I got that correct. But it looks like 33 seconds back. Yep, that is correct. Scary. It does show us right here. So Quentin, after yesterday's crazy effort, falling a little ways off terms, but I think he's just training super hard the last few days, and I know he did tell me that the team convinced him to show up to this one in force because they wanted to have a lot of people show up for the race today. Spocker, it looks like Fidalgo, Weidman, Remy, as well as Thrun, Farron, all coming through, it looks like, for this lap at the 16.9 kilometer mark together in a chase group. Remy, it looks like, is still leading out that B category race because of that initial draft he got from those front runners. Jay Rasmussen then also leading second place, in the B category. C category currently over Cat, though, at 3.6 watts per kilogram, and then we do have Delvin there in the B category holding down third place. Quite a few riders with unattached here, and we'll have to figure out where they do stand after the race is over. Looking back at the front group, though, let's go ahead and bring them back in. And we do see they have really established themselves as a lead group now of 10 riders. 10 riders after Quentin did fall off. It was 11 initially. Now it will be top 10 as they do head back on over toward the square here. And Webb now with an attack over this 6% gradient. This is the only place. They've got 12K to go, and this is the only place out on course that they can really make any kind of a difference to try and get away from the other riders using any kind of gradient and uphill kick. Cartwright now going again, 7.3 watts per kilogram. You know, you don't usually see a solo breakaway work here, but because all of the riders are able to kind of hold on to the wheels that are in front of them. But you definitely do see riders fall off the back who are unable to follow. So that is definitely good to instigate here if you want to whittle down who is amongst the group. Boniface did kick into a solid 11 watts per kilogram for a second there, and Cartwright went right along with him. Does look like they do have 1 second over MD, and if Boniface and Cartwright can get off the front, they were the front two in the race yesterday. It's going to be a maybe a Cartwright Boniface 1-2 again. We'll have to see if the Vision Train can pull it back in. And we are seeing John Patrick Coughlin here. Glad to hear some chatter about possibly having some age-based categories races in yesterday's Zwiftcast as a recreational rider pushing. I'll go ahead and let's see here, 50 years. I know I can't hang with the younger riders, but would be curious to see how I do against my peers. Yeah, that's a great idea. Shane was all about it as well. And so having separate categories, you know, where you have an overall within the A's maybe, but then having a separate category that just ranks how you went against your peers in your age groups would be pretty cool to see. And then, you know, just like in real life racing, we have that masters categories, or we have 50 plus categories, etc. Like you're saying, would be a really, you know, that's really attractive to a lot within our local mountain bike community as well. We've got a lot of different age group brackets, so it'd be cool to see how that plays out. I encourage it as well. And we'll see if it comes down the way. I think it definitely is something that people are looking into. So it looks like nobody fall. Actually, no. Did somebody fall off here? Robinson? No, Robinson on the lap counter there. So it will be Webb here still at the back. Cliven, 4.0 watts per kilogram. Barholm as well. 144 beats per minute coming from Barholm. So it looks like he's sitting in fairly comfortable. 183 is his max, actually. So kind of a tempo-ish endurance pace within 183 max. De Silva here sitting in at 167. De Silva maxes out 191. So definitely up into almost threshold now with a little bit of attack in that 8.1 watts per kilogram. Seeing that Cartwright's trying to go off the front at 3.6. Cartwright 159 has a few beats to work with. Roberts here at 155 as well. Looks like he maxed out at 175. So Roberts is definitely putting in a solid effort. This is a TT specialist. He's won a few TTs actually recently. I think it was last week he won 2 TTs in the world of Zwift. So solid effort here coming from Roberts the last couple of weeks. And so being a TT specialist, though, he's got to get off the front and stay away, I think, to challenge these boys. We are seeing that it is going to be Locks from Vision Cycling, 158 as well. Maxes out at 200, so he's got a whole lot of beats to work with. They still have 2 laps to go, I believe. 2 laps to go. 23.1K in total so far, as you can see. And it looks like 32.2K is going to be the total duration. In the C category, we still have a leader, G. Delcroix, coming out of Belgium, but he will get an upgrade. So it is actually McGeever out of Ireland leading, followed by Jay Ferris from the BRT team. We do have B. Schlehuber as well. In there in third place for the C category. Currently in the D category, B. Schneider is leading it out. I do see Szymanski saying test anybody out there. I see Johan Wallstrom with a hello over at the Twitch channel. Good to see you. Towers there as well. Basalt is in there for Canada, it looks like. And Szymanski said, I guess with people flying in, they won't have their own bikes, or will they? Some people are bringing their own bikes, but no, not everybody is bringing their own bikes. I don't believe Szymanski over to the Vegas event. I do believe I'm going to try and get a ride in, and there is a local place that is renting out some BMCs from what I've heard from a couple of riders. Almost actually did an extra rider reveal there accidentally, because the individual is one of the riders racing and let me know that there is a local place that does do some rentals. So definitely need to watch out about what I'm talking about here, because we can't do any early releases. And Sestuel, good to see you over at the Twitch channel. Good to have you here. Szymanski says it would probably take me 5 hours to get another bike set up. Oh my goodness. I just put the pedals on, raise the seat or lower the seat to where it needs to be with the millimeters, back or forward, a little bit to fore aft, and let's go, baby. So maybe I'm a little bit more flexible in what we're riding, though. So it is going to be a lap and a half to go. 24.6K into the leaders here. Looking a little ways back, I'm going to see if we can find a few other riders. We did have, it looks like B. Schneider here out of Germany, followed by Van Steenwinkel here as well. They are 18.9K in. B. Schneider is actually, no. I'm sorry, everybody. Dang. All right, so let's, I'm going to find my way back to the front of the race. While we do that, we'll chat a little bit here. Sorry about that, guys. I wish that I would not have clicked onto my avatar there, but we'll hang out at the Sprint Studio while we find our way back to the front of the race here. Any comments or questions you want to bring my way while we do so are very appreciated for a little social media interaction as we do find our way back to the front. The new feeds are on their way, though, just so you guys know. They are on their way. We will have the ability to follow multiple rides out on course here really soon, just so everybody knows. I am almost there. Thank you so much to N. Smales out on course, who is taking a right-hand turn right now over into the classic course and is going to give me a little assistance jumping back in with the race here in just a moment. And chat time. So Nathan, why are we on Twitch? Yeah, I did talk about that a little bit at the beginning of the broadcast. So the reason why is we want to make sure that you don't miss the CVR World Cup. Being an esports event, almost all esports are the main hub for esports is on Twitch. And so the other reason being that a high quality broadcast is pixelated on Facebook. So we want to make sure that the high quality is coming to you. We also want to make sure that the Facebook is consistent. And a lot of people, we've had reports over and over again of trouble viewing high quality on the Facebook. We are right back with the front of the race again in the A race. They're going to have one lap to go after they finish this last 1.5 kilometers here. So we do see another attack here coming from Boniface. A-Web, they're trying to follow it very quickly. So that's the main reason, is that we want to make sure that with the CVR being a Twitch exclusive event, we want to give you guys incentive as much as we possibly can to say, hey, you need to be here so you don't miss the CVR World Cup. And you also want to be able to get notifications every time we go live. Social media is great, but you got to be watching your social media notifications, get notifications anytime that you get an update. If you've never watched it, I really highly suggest, there's a couple of videos out there on YouTube, one by Veritasium, I believe that's how you say it, about Facebook and about how you get notifications on Facebook from pages that you follow. If it doesn't get much interaction, you don't even get notified. You might not even be able to see at any point that we went live somewhere, right? So that's why streaming platforms are so incredibly important, because they'll actually notify you of those that you follow, right? And so you can hit the follow button, obviously, over on Facebook, and sometimes you can turn on auto notifications. Not everybody knows to do that. Not everybody knows how that works, and there's a bunch of settings you have to do in the background. And so just to make sure that we do as broad a stroke as we possibly can to hit as many committed followers as we possibly can, we are over on Facebook still putting the broadcast out, but we're making sure that that's a consistent stream. And if you want high quality broadcasts as well as a community to interact with, because chat interacts so much better over on a streaming platform, you can find us then over at the Twitch. And so there's a whole lot more reasons besides that are not directly race related right now. Maybe we'll have a whole Zwiftcast Live, actually. How about that? That'll be another topic as to what's up with streaming and streaming platforms within the digital world and how it relates to Zwift and all that kind of stuff. I think that's actually, I'm going to bring, since there's a question and that's a topic, I think we're going to bring Simon in, and we're going to have a whole long chat about it, because it seems like a lot of people are chatting about that. And Szymanski is saying, wish I could get away with not having my position so precise. Body starts to do weird things when it's off by more than a millimeter or two. Whew. Sestuo says truth at Szymanski. So, yeah, I can relate to that a little bit. I did find that if you do a lot of stretching and you get super flexible, that that goes away. That can tend to go away for sure. And so C Tower says that would be great. Yeah, we'll definitely try and make that cast happen. And let's see here. Szymanski says, Johan Wallstrom, when ZCL was doing reruns, I thought it was live and was cheering you on. And we'll have more of those reruns, actually. We're going to try and make the reruns about the races that were happening that day, or make kind of like Mondays, right? So we have the Magnum Monday races from ODZ. Be really great to go over the last month or the last 2 months of Magnum Mondays that have been broadcast that day, right? And so we'll try and make it kind of around the broadcasts that are coming from that day. Our library of broadcasts that we've had, we'll have rebroadcasts for now to fill in the 24/7 gaps that we currently have, in order so that there will always be content up on the Twitch channel, just so you guys know. Boniface now with a little bit of an attack off the front, as it does slow down around that little loop there. And when they do the turnaround, it does usually slow you automatically down to about 30K or so. He did attack, but it didn't go much of anywhere. There was a counter, it looks like, from MD from the BRT there just a second ago. Looks like Roger's in the house. What the heck? If anybody doesn't know, that was a signature. The what the heck is a signature that came from Rogers because of his hacking on the mountain. It's a great little YouTube video you can watch over on my YouTube channel, actually. And if you just type in, I think, Zwift Hackers on Google and then click on the videos tab, I believe it will be one of the first things that comes up. Good to see you, Zach, over at the Twitch channel. And it was actually originally on Twitch, actually, that broadcast did happen on my personal channel. Zach, he's a legend because of this. MD De Silva Barholm locks, and it looks like Big Blue Vision in there as well. A lot of Vision riders. Now, the thing is, are they strong enough to match the likes of Boniface is the question. I'm not seeing Cartwright. Did Cartwright get dropped? Did I miss a Cartwright drop? That would be absolutely crazy. Or did Cartwright go off the front? It's got to be off the front, I would think. I mean, Tim Cartwright, yesterday might have been a crazy effort, though. We'll have to work our way forward and see. There are a lot of riders that are in and mixing in amongst the groups here as they are finishing up this last half a lap. We are in the bell lap. We're about to see a crazy sprint, I would think, up and over the top of the hall here. Whitehall, correct me if I'm wrong there. And we'll have to see if any kind of break can happen. I'm going to look at the live results coming from ZipPower.com right now. Did Cartwright have a dropout? No, I'm seeing Cartwright off the front. 15 seconds. Yep. I figured it had to be a Cartwright attack, knowing that he lost the sprint yesterday and he didn't want to see that happen again. We are going through a group right now, so we'll have to find our way through. Will they be able to close it down? I think Cartwright, though, has won this race already. 15 seconds. I don't think that that's coming back. We're going to move our way forward, see if we can find Mr. Tim. And it looks like it is going to be an attack here coming from, again, it will be Boniface on the front, 5.2 watts per kilogram or so. Cartwright with a solid 15 seconds, so when they came through the arches. So that attack absolutely gone. Boniface trying to go again. De Silva now coming by from that MDCC. Webb now following very closely here. MD able to hang on. Barholm off the back with orange numbers still, though. As long as he keeps those orange numbers, should be able to hang on. But De Silva, oh my goodness, up in that 12 watts per kilogram, absolutely killing it. Brett Boniface here again attacking. Looks like it will be then Boniface, De Silva, Webb, and it will be the Big Blue Vision train. Tim Fulford able to hang on. Locks a little bit off the back with so many Vision wheels to hang on to, though. I don't think any of them are going anywhere, but there is a little bit of a gap now at this point. Cliven, Locks, and Barholm off the back. Webb still attacking, having to hang on at this point. It's going to be all about just hanging with the wheels as Boniface continues to go off the front here. 5.3 watts per kilogram. Nope, everybody's sticking together. Nobody's gone anywhere whatsoever. Now, the question is, who's going to make it crazy fast at the front? Who's going to play the domestique? Who's going to play the lead-out train out on course? And will they catch Mr. Cartwright. Cartwright, though, with over 15 seconds at this point, I believe. I'm not even seeing him in the feed. I think Tim Cartwright has absolutely killed it and won this race on that last lap. We are seeing, I'm trying to find this man. Has he gained that much? Moving forward. Jay Emery here. Draper, where is Cartwright? Where did he go? Absolutely killing it. It said he had 15 seconds at the 27.8K marker. And still not seeing Cartwright. The man is just an animal. Totally flying off the front. So now we're going to have to watch for second here because I can't find him. So we'll have to wait and see what the time is at the end. But his arm raised in the air. We'll have to let that be said on ZwiftPower.com. Going off the front here. So we are seeing here, so on Zwift, does the bike choice make an impact? Yes, it does. Some bikes are faster than others, sexual. And so the currently fastest bike out on Zwift that is not a beta bike is going to be the Tron bike, and it looks the coolest, that's for sure. So the Zwift concept bike that you earned. So here we go. We're in the last 500 meters now. MD leading it out now. The big blue vision train now. A little bit of kick there coming from Boniface. He was up on the saddle for a second now. Now we are seeing De Silva killing it in a 5.6 watts per kilogram. Boniface going super early. Now here comes an attack from Barholm up into that 10 watts per kilogram. Will he be followed is the question here. We are seeing now it's going to be Boniface neck and neck. He's got such a kick. Was there another kick though? Everybody's up on the saddle. 182 beats per minute. Boniface makes it back-to-back wins. Webb is second, I believe, followed by, I think it was the BRT rider, MD. We'll have to wait for the update. No, but Cartwright, though, did go off the front and got away from the rest of the riders, I believe. We'll have to wait for the update. We are a little behind on ZwiftPower.com, but Boniface at least won the sprint effort there at the end of the race. Solid effort there coming from Boniface. We'll wait for the results here in just a moment as all the riders are cooling down. Hibernator now coming across the line here. We do see a couple other riders. It looks like doing some kiss races, this and that. I mean, there are so many riders out on this course right now. Cartwright, yes, winning by 18 seconds. He actually increased his lead in that last lap. Actually went off the front of the last lap and was not caught and ended up winning by a solid 18 seconds. Brett Boniface takes second, and then it was actually Aaron Locks followed by Michael Durr and then Webb. So I thought it was Webb to take third place, but no, it was actually Aaron Locks from Vision Cycling with third place, followed by Michael Durr from BRT for fourth, and then it will be Adam Webb for fifth place in for Vision Cycling. So even with that big blue Vision train, unable to pull it off here, it looks like. Solid effort all around, though, by all the riders. Let's take a quick little look here at the top 10. As you can see here, Cartwright, Boniface, Locks, Durr, Webb, that's your top five. And then Clive in there for the BRT team sitting in sixth. Per Christian Barholm sitting in seventh. He was the initial lead out man, but was unable to hold on. Tim Fulford followed by Mark Roberts, and then De Silva, next one across the line. I'm going to go on back to the studio here for a moment while we try and find a few of the other riders. I do know that it is going to be Thrun, Spracher, Farron, Weidman, all together, I believe, trying to make their way to the line. I think LaFay did join them. They were a solid 4 minutes back, I believe, from that lead group, though, at one point. Let's see if they just came across. We do see Ferris here finishing out his last lap in the C category. So the C category riders are just starting their last lap. Looking through, Webb is taking a little break after a crazy effort, probably shaking. The legs definitely shake after efforts like that. They're absolutely just insane efforts out on course. We do see Mail here. I think a part of something else going on here. Here we go. Farron now I do see bringing it in the race. We'll get the last couple images. Him and Weidman battling it out. But Weidman does get the battle of them here, followed by Remy and then Quinton across the line. Solid efforts all around by these riders. So as those riders are finishing up here, We've got one lap to go in the C category for a lot of these riders. We do have Evan, it looks like, from the BRT team, 5.2 kilometers in, so not a part of this race. I think maybe part of the EVR or something. There's another race going on, I believe, right now. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but there are a lot of riders out on course. Again, we did leave the event, so we are looking around at this point for who is coming in, when, where, and how in this race today. We accidentally clicked on my avatar and ended up back in the start-finish studio. And almost under 10 seconds. Yeah, that's a crazy fast. Just some constructive feedback. Vision, you raced well, sending Mark early, but on the last lap, you got to start driving it from after the squares. You let out guys should not be there in the end. Hard like 7 to 9 watts per kilometer with a guy like Webb, ready to go at 300 meters. I think you're right on there, actually, PVG. That's a really good analysis. Especially, I think it's not. It's a lot like real life in that, well, maybe not so much like real life. I think going from 5K out and driving it like that from 5K out, I guess they had enough numbers for it. So you're right in that sense that, like, you can throw a few at the front, like a couple of strong men that just got a high FTP, and just start throwing them down at the front of the race. And then if you've got the numbers for it, then you've got 3 or 4 lead out men who just start really ramping it up, or two or three lead out men that just really start ramping it up all the way into the last K, and then you send Adam in the last 300 meters, like you just said. So I think you're totally right on there. They got to be driving 5, 6, 7 watts per kilogram, just burying themselves and no longer be there to set up for one man. So that's a really good analysis, actually. And I'd love to see something more organized like that from all the teams, actually, out on Zwift. It would make things really interesting, especially from a broadcaster's point of view. 2 kilometers out, yeah, gotcha. And also, when you have the numbers, send 2 into attacks and counter with the other 2. Johnny says, a bit like the TDF in Paris, drive hard last few laps. Exactly, Johnny, exactly. All right, so the rider reveal is coming here, boys and girls. I believe we are just about ready for it. Got to make sure everybody's dressed, it looks like. No. So in just a moment here, we want to definitely catch, though, the finish of this C race. That's what I'm looking for here before we end up. But I think we're just going to have to go through the results and from ZwiftPower.com, as I'm going to have a lot of trouble being able to catch any of the finishers here since we did leave the event module. So for the results here, we are seeing it is Tim Cartwright with the win, as we saw. This is your top 3. And then in the B category, Remy took, it looks like, first place with 3.7 watts per kilogram, followed by Jens Fried Rasmussen with 3.6 watts per kilogram, and then Sean Delvin for third place today. I want to catch McGeever here as well as Ferris, and I think they were still together, and that's going to be a good battle all the way to the line. I did see those riders coming around for their lap. I'm going to see real quickly here before we get into that rider reveal. I just don't want to miss that sprint because I know they've put out such a great effort, and just really want to make sure to be able to highlight the battle that these two have had all the way to the line here. Looking for the Spanish flag and that Irish flag right now out on course. We are in the square, though, and it's really difficult in order to find all the riders, but they're about to finish it up here, these two, and they were together, as you can see, 2:04 at the last checkpoint, and we'll see if we can find them here. We are back at the square here. We do see Jay Emery here finishing up in the A race, so Jay Emery was just a little ways ahead of them, so I think we may be able to find them here, as Emery is just finishing up in the A category, battling it out, it looks like, with a couple of other riders all the way to the line. Little ways back, we do see a rider out of USA, Jay Suling. And where is Ferris and McGeever? They should be here in just any moment now. I believe they were just a little ways back. There is Brett Boniface, second place overall today. We'll give him a ride on. And he did bring us to the other side of the square. So we'll see if we can move back to... We got a huge group Zwift race, it looks like, or Zwift ride. All together in those Zwift kits, it looks like. See if we can see some social media interaction here coming from you guys. It does look like a chat about streaming would be great. So many of us are just scratching the surface. We'll do, Frank. We'll do, Frank. We'll definitely try and make that happen. Seeing that over at the Facebook as a comment. We will. I think it's going to be a great conversation, actually, to have Tim Cartwright, your race winner today. Nice job to him. Just coming around on his cooldown. We'll give him a ride on. And I believe, I'm not sure we're going to be able to catch this finish. I'm moving forward, seeing if we can find it here, boys and girls. Jason is across the line. There it is. Here we go. We found him. And it looks like it is going to be McGeever. Is he lost? Has he lost? No, Ferris is off the front, actually. Ferris is off the front. From the BRT team, he gained a solid 13 seconds. 13 seconds, 2.5 watts per kilogram. Looks like McGeever in that C category race, unable to take the win. It looks like Jay Ferris will be able to pull this off, I believe. Jay Ingles was in there as well amongst them. Not sure if he was a C category riders as well though, as I'm not seeing that signification in his name, but it looks like Ferris from the BRT will be able to take this win. He's 13 seconds off the front. The riders behind will be ramping it up little by little, but it does look like Ferris will be able to pull this off now. 2.7, 2.5 watts per kilogram. Steady. 10 seconds back is McGeever. Ingles is on his wheel there, so that is a C category rider, I believe. And they're ramping it up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And Ferris will be taking the win. We'll be giving him a ride on. But with that win, we definitely want to see how the sprint works itself out here, as there is a couple of riders making their way to the line. Ingles now going 2.8, 2.9 watts per kilogram. They got a bunch of riders amongst them. Doesn't look like there's any interest for a sprint, though, at this point. 200 meters to go. Nobody really going for it now, as we can see. Ingles now just hanging back. And now McGeever goes 7 watts, 9 watts per kilogram, and is going to be able to grab that sprint to the line. Ferris now just came across the line and takes that first place. Second place goes to McGeever, followed by Ingles, I believe, in third. B. Schneider, I believe, will take the W in the D category, followed by B. Duplais out of South Africa. Nice job to all the racers. Looks like we had about 50 racers or so show up to race today. So here we go, boys and girls. We've got our rider reveal. Thanks for hanging out for the broadcast. We also have the rider live here with us to chat. So make sure to go ahead and share this up to all the places, as we are announcing right now the next rider in the CVR World Cup to be announced out of the men. So there you have it, boys and girls. It is Quentin LaFay from Vision Cycling coming out of France, representing the country of France. Really great to have Quentin coming in, and congratulations to him to jumping in to the CVR World Cup. It's going to be awesome to have Quentin, as a new rider within there. So a little bit of hype around that. And we just saw Quentin racing, and we actually are able to get him live from the bike here, I believe. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring Quentin on in. Quentin LeFay, good to have you here with us. And man, what a huge opportunity to be a part of the CVR World Cup. I know you just raced, so maybe we'll chat a little bit about the race first, and then we'll get on to the cup. How did the race go today?
Hey guys.
There we go.
Yeah, the race. Well, it did go quite as expected for me because I raced very hard yesterday, and today was such a beautiful day. So I had to go outside for about 3 to 4 hours. So I just came here to be with the guys, in the team car, hanging out, and give them a hand if I could. And in the last laps, I gave a hand to Remy to get the win in the beast. So it was a good race.
Yeah, it sounds like it worked out. I mean, if you put out 3 or 4 hours already earlier today, and then with the race yesterday, and then you're able to help out your teammate, that's a really great effort, actually. So good to hear, guys. So just so you know, before we move on with the interview here, if you have any questions, if you have any interactions, make sure to shoot them over at the social media on Facebook or over on Twitch or on at Z Community Live on Twitter, and we will be able to shoot those at Quentin or myself. We'll have a little chat here with him for a little while, but we want to make sure to interact with him as much as you guys want to, as much as we can. So, but Quentin, so moving on to the CVR World Cup, man, I mean, how did this play out for you? I mean, this is a pretty huge opportunity. And so first of all, what do you think about it? Like, what do you think about racing in an arena like this?
Yeah, this is totally huge. I mean, this might be the biggest thing that ever happened to me in the past few years. Riding with maybe the best riders there is on Zwift, head to head, almost banging them with the elbow and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. Plus the place is kind of mythical for the people outside of the US, So yeah, it's gonna be absolutely awesome. When I got the news, kind of like Daniel yesterday, I didn't have to think twice. I mean, at first I was like, wow, that's close. That's gonna be really hard to organize. But then the second after that, I thought, what am I saying? I mean, of course I want to do this. This is such a great thing. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And speaking of rubbing shoulders and elbows and everything with riders, I mean, you're familiar, I think, with a couple of I mean, Daniel, obviously you've raced against him. Shane, I think there's a few more announcements. I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting, and I've got to wash myself here, but it's gonna be really interesting, I think, to see. What we've been watching for almost 2 years now, and now you get to go and do this in a real life environment with riders and racers that you've been racing against for quite a while, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But the main part is that you get to meet the guys, to actually meet them, to hang out with them for a few days before the actual event, and that's actually the most awesome part, because getting to talk to the guys on Facebook and stuff, it's awesome. But getting to meet them in person, getting to hang out with them, it's definitely awesome. And on the race part, I think despite the fact that we are gonna have the same setups and stuff, the main thing that's gonna change is the fact that we are on a closed road. You don't have that many riders around to drag or to stick, and it's gonna be a total game changer for me, because since I'm one of the smaller riders on flat course, I tend to to be at the back of the pack, and I often find myself forced to do some big efforts to rejoin the pack that I was in because I was getting dropped. So I think that's going to be a real game changer, maybe the most important one for this kind of event.
Yeah, gotcha. And so, I mean, speaking of racing on Zwift, that you were saying, as far as the races that you have been doing, which you've gotten good at, I mean, you've have 90 races out on Zwift. How long have you been racing on Zwift? How long have you been, doing this for? I mean, 90 races, that's a lot of races. Daniel had the same, and he was in late beta. So how long have you been racing and riding on Zwift?
Racing, I think it's about 1 year this week. It's going to be the 1 year mark. So yeah, quite a few races this year, especially in the summer, and a lot less in the winter because of the whole injury stuff. But yeah, it's going to be about a year this week.
Yeah, and you had an injury recently. So what was that? And it sounds like you're fully recovered with how much riding you're doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 100% recovered because I still got to take extra care of the knee, and like for example today, I tried to go like outside, but when I started riding on the trainer, I knew I had to put some straps on it because I was starting to feel some itches and stuff. So I still take special care of it because well, now that it snapped once, it can snap at any moment, I think, and I take good care keeping that in mind.
Sounds like a straight tendonitis then when you say the itchy feel. Yeah, I've had the knee issues with tendonitis in the past before, and it can be a very a long road. So yeah, definitely take care, and make sure not to get that going again. But so back on to the CVR. So your plans are, it sounds like you're going to be there a little bit early, and we do have a question from Rogers. Quentin, what are your realist expectations for your results at the CVR World Cup? Whoa. All right. So how do you think things are going to go?
Well, I mean, I will definitely be the guy with the lowest FTP, I think. And well, I got to play it smart, but I'm really working on it and training quite a lot these days. But the main goal is to have fun, and then like we like to say here, it's a one-day race, so anything could happen,
Yeah, for sure. And so I think there is the reality of tactics, and there's also the reality, I think, of that's what this arena is for, though, too, is to show up and have everybody on the same equipment. Everything's as real as it can possibly get, and so that might change the story a little bit, too. And so we'll have to see how that all plays out. I think you've got good chances, Quentin. You're really experienced in Zwift. You've been doing it for a really long time. And so, but yeah, like you said, it's all about meeting everybody too. And Frank Deal says, Frank the Tank, good to see you there, man. Attack or react? Yeah, and it sounds like Quentin's going for a little bit more of a react. I think if he puts himself on the rivet amongst, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking that too, with such a big hype and having this whole. I mean, that's going to be a whole different experience than everything. You get a little jitters racing right now, and you got the broadcast, and people are watching your avatar. But you're going to have hundreds of people in this arena. You're going to have, a lot of people watching online. I mean, that's a whole different kind of environment. I think even a different environment than a real life race. Even in a real life race, unless you're in the Tour de France and you know that you're on NBC or whatever the heck it is, you're still kind of in the middle of nowhere and nobody's watching from moment to moment. This is like all eyes on you in an arena. That's a very different situation, hey?
Yeah, that's totally something else. I mean, I know I'm a rider that reacts really well with the whole people watching thing. And I mean, I know, well, most of them won't know me, but that's not the part that matter actually. It's the fact that we will be riding in front of all these people cheering nonstop is gonna be just one of the most awesome race ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really look forward to it.
Jens Fried Rasmussen says, up, 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 Quentin. And it looks like you're getting a little cheering on there from some of the boys from Vision as well, hanging out in the broadcast. So our third rider revealed today, boys and girls, Quentin Lefay, coming straight out of France, just got done racing actually in an XRS virtual race and will be at the live arena, the new Esports World Cup that has just been launched with Cyclogen. So great. It's so awesome. Congratulations, Quentin. Really, really great to have you as a part of this. And I can't wait to actually meet you. And actually, we got to get that ride organized so we can all get out beforehand, right? Open the legs up a little bit the day before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask in the next couple of days, whether if I should bring my helmet or not, and it seems like I got my answer, and well, looking like I need a couple of extra kits as well, and yeah, well, it's gonna be awesome. I mean, the whole Zwift experience is gonna be brought to a whole new level, and I think I will have maybe not extra pressure, but extra motivation to represent the guys. They've been doing such an awesome job this past few months, and it's going to be almost a year now that the team is up and running on Zwift. And I mean, if not for me, it's going to be at least a great ride for them.
Yeah, for sure. It's absolutely awesome. I assure you that the Vision team is most likely going to all be glued to their screens, watching and cheering for you. So we're gonna have they're going to have a lot of fun. No bias, of course, as the broadcaster, the talent on site, right? not
yeah.
All right, boys and girls. Quentin Lefay, thanks a lot for joining us. Take some time out of your day to jump in here with us. And third rider reveal, boys and girls. And we will see you for our next rider reveal tomorrow for the XRS race 12:30 in the XRS ZTR Europe. So, Quentin, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. You guys.
So, Quentin Lefay, super awesome to have him as a part of this. We are excited for the next rider reveals that are coming up, so make sure to stick around for those. Well, make sure to hit that follow button so you know when we're going live with those, which will be tomorrow. Again, XRS ZTR Tuesday, we'll have another rider reveal for our fourth rider. All right, so thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Roger saying thanks, Quentin. Carol saying awesome. And we'll give you one more time through that playlist for the reveal, and we will see you guys. What else is going on today on Monday? I gotta see if we got anything else with Zwift Community Live on the schedule, but I don't think there's anything going on, but we will have replays running throughout the day here. Yep, so we will have replays running throughout the day here. The next thing up that's official on the schedule is Tuesday's KISS America's KRT Racer Focus on 5:15 a.m. CST. But we will have a few rebroadcasts coming through of Magnum Mondays, as well as probably this race as well through the Twitch channel. So thanks everybody for joining in, and we'll see you in the morning for KISS KRT, as well as Life and Cycling Business Coach and the next rider announced tomorrow. Cheers.